in this section of Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 13. We are now well into the 3-year missionary journey, particularly with Paul and Barnabas. We've left Cyprus, we've hit into the main coast and are now travelling up to Antioch. And as they get there, there's a devastation happens to the team. That is John Mark, who had been travelling with them. Well, the strongest language for it is he deserts. He turns around and he goes away. What devastation to friends. What devastation to ministry teams. We are not given any information about that, so we must not speculate. Only to say that we'll leave that thread very loose, but God will redeem it. And as they get to Antioch, they do what they do, as always on the Sabbath day. They go into a synagogue and they sit down with the rest of that congregation, the gathered congregation. And as the law and the prophets are read, Paul is invited to speak, and he stands up and speaks. Now, as you read down into verse 33, you're going to hear some content of apostolic teaching. You've heard it before, but don't get bored with it. You've heard it in Acts 2. You've heard it through Stephen, that first martyr. It's the same message. So the message now going out, firstly to the Jews, but in the Gentile situation, is the same message. And that is true of the church today. We are on message. And what Paul does, he gives a history lesson because he knows that the Jewish people listening and those interested in Judaism would know their history. Today, if you want to go out and destroy a society, I can tell you how to do it. 3 easy steps. Devalue coins, undercut family at every level, and rewrite history. Particularly make sure that the bad bits are taken out. And it is true today that the most powerful nations on earth are busy rewriting their history. As a side issue, where does that tell you we are in society? So Paul takes them through their history because what he's hoping to achieve as the Spirit blows on that history is that the people listening will see, I'm in the line of this. And Jesus himself will be the fulfiller. So Paul will speak about David. We've done that. But ultimately, Paul wants to get everybody's attention focused upon what God has done in Jesus. And in verse 32 of chapter 13, we bring you the good news. He's proclaiming good news. He's saying that what God's promised all those thousands of years is now happening, has happened in Jerusalem, has happened in Antioch, has happened in Damascus, has happened now in your listening. When we preach, there is a now component to it. God is speaking when we preach his word. And the question, of course, is anybody listening? And it says, verse 33, this he has fulfilled to us, his children, by raising Jesus, as also it is written in the 2nd Psalm, you are my son, today I have begotten you. So the Psalms are back, the prophetic words are back, the people of God are being addressed again. Only this time it's not a matter of promise, it's a matter of fulfillment. And tomorrow we will see how Paul is led on to continue to expound this. So, we work in ministry teams, sometimes with amazing disappointment, but always under the hand of God who will bring things around, and always with godly content in the power of the Spirit. Let's not rewrite history. Let us fulfill it.